Well, after a false start,
Spring has sprung.
spring has sprung, which is a lovely sentence, because it's the plum blossom time.
So young. You make me feel like a
That's enough of that. Have you seen the the plum blossom viewing? Yeah, I get that question about 10 times a week now.
If
have you seen the latest plum blossoms?
If you're watching this on YouTube, the expression that I'm doing is, that's about how much I give a fuck about plum blossom viewing, cherry blossom viewing. Do you know the thing I like most about
anal viewing?
The thing I like most about cherry blossom viewing is when it fucking pisses it down and there's a typhoon and it blows it all away.
Why am I not surprised?
all these fucking grandmas and bored housewives they're living their lives to get to middle of March or end of March just so they can go out and look at cherry blossoms. And when it pisses it down and it's rain and it blows it all away, I laugh on the inside and on the outside.
And we're off. It's taken 2 minutes to reach your usual
but
misery.
Why do they always get a bit... They're just fucking screaming the pants when the Sakura... when it comes out. Have you got nothing else in your life apart from looking forward to cherry blossoms?
Now, viewers and listeners, if you're in Japan, you will get that a lot. Are you excited about the cherry blossom?
No.
No. Obviously this man is not. But it's kind of the common thread of conversation and the etiquette that you have to be into it. I've never heard anybody say no.
You have now.
Well, except you, yeah, but yeah. I'd be surprised if you did like it. Because it's not about you.
What?
But this week the plum blossom has got...
Plum blossom. It's the only thing
I've been waiting for months.
It's the one thing in the world that I care less about than Sakura, than the cherry blossoms, is the plum blossom. Who gives a fuck about the plum blossoms?
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, the little yellow one, the little purple ones came out, and the white ones came out on Tuesday.
And
if you get very close, you can smell a bit of the plum blossom smell. No, he's not interested at all. Doesn't give a toss. Natural beauty, ladies and gentlemen. It could well as well just be a fart in a sack.
So what are you going to do during the cherry blossom season?
Well, I'm going to be out and about and taking pictures and smelling the cherry
blossom. You've been here for 20 years. You've seen it 20 times. Why are you going out and doing it all again?
Mind you, it hasn't changed for 22 years.
No.
Agreed. Now, actually, avid listeners, I completely hear my valued friend here. And I agree with him completely. I don't care about the cherry blossom viewing.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, I'm winding you up because I knew you'd hate it. But if you'd been there for a while, it doesn't really matter. But everybody goes through the motion of that is this big thing. I suppose it brings stability in life. It's that time of year where this happens. It's the time of year where this happens. It makes it a very stable and comfortable society, which is what you hate.
Flowers on a tree.
Yeah.
Make Japan a stable society.
Yeah, timely.
Flowers on a tree.
It creates organisation. It never fails. It'll always turn up. Earlier and earlier, though, mind you.
The kids' school year starts at the end of March. The first day of year is April 1st. April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Right? And the only reason that is, everywhere else around the world, America, Australia, UK, it all starts in September. It does in Holland.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
The only reason it starts here in April is because of the cherry blossoms. So the kids...
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, so the kids can get the school photographs taken under the cherry blossoms.
Really?
Yeah. Now, this fucks it up when they want to go to university abroad because they're graduating in March. So they've got to hang on for 6 months until they can piss off to wherever in the West. To go study at university because of the cherry blossoms. Now, during Corona, when they thought locking us down were going to sort all this shit out, which it didn't, they were wrong, they haven't apologised. What they were saying is, right, we'll shut it down for 6 months, we won't bother with kids for 6 months, and then we'll start the year in September. And that's what they were going to do. They were going to bring it in line with the rest of the world. And then the powers that be... We can't do that because of the Sakura season. What about having the school photo? The kids want to have the school photographs taken under the cherry blossoms. What the fuck? You're making government policy about flowers on a tree. Flowers on a tree. right?
Mr. Happy
Well,
is in the house.
have you got a rebuttal?
Well, I do not. I have to agree with you partially. But it is beautiful. Are you denying that it's a beautiful scene?
It's there. It's just
It's there.
There's a beach and sea. That's a beautiful sea. I see it every day. If it were just there for 2 weeks out of the year, I'd be like, all right, everybody's going to the beach. Certain things bring me joy, right? Seeing a ruined sakura season brings me joy because they make it so important. They make something like this so important when it isn't important. It's ruined.
You love people's misery, don't you? You enjoy people having a bad time because it's not about you then.
No, I love things getting ruined that aren't important, that people think are important. That's what I enjoy.
You must have loved the Olympics last year.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't important. It, like my say, it doesn't matter. In the scheme of things, it doesn't matter.
It don't really matter.
It doesn't.
It's true. It's true. In the grand scheme of things, what does matter then? If you're going to go that avenue.
My happiness and my family's happiness.
Why does that matter in the grand scheme of the world?
That's the only thing that matters to me.
Oh, to you?
Yeah.
But in the world, does it matter?
No, it don't matter. I don't give a fuck. I only give a fuck about me and my family. I'm not bothered
and there
about...
you have it.
I'm not bothered about anybody else.
Spoken like a true Christian.
Right, I'll tell you what. I am not missing out on my daughter's or son's birthday parties to come to your aid because you're having a bad day. Right? I'm not going to do that. I'd do it at Christmas. I'd do it at New Year. But if it was something to do with my family,
right?
I'm saying, right, I'll come and see you tomorrow.
Like, what if I had an accident and I fell off my bike?
You call the police or they call an ambulance.
Well, what
I'm
if...
not a doctor.
Okay, hang on.
You're lost at sea. I'm not a sailor.
That'll work. I'm lost in the forest.
Yeah.
And I've only got your phone number for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's your son's birthday.
Yeah.
And I can't find my way out.
Right.
I need help immediately.
Yeah. Wait till it's dark.
I've also broken my ankle.
Wait till it's dark, follow the stars.
What if I've broken my neck and I can't move?
You broke it, right? Well, I would.
Would you leave your birthday party behind?
I'd ask you to give me a description of where you are. I'd put Shima on the phone with emergency services. She'd sort of say, right, he's here, right, and put the phone down, and they'll get to you eventually.
All right, get this.
Yeah.
There's a tsunami coming right to your house.
Yep. To my house.
Yeah, right, and only your house for some reason. Are you gonna leave it? You gonna leave this party finally?
Well, I'd gather up the party food and go somewhere.
You'd move it up on the hill.
Yeah, and that'd be it. But
well,
I'm
a dedicated man. For sure.
I am rushing to 4 people's aid on my son's birthday, and 3 of them are my family and my dad.
And they're actually in the house.
Everybody else. Well, what would you do if Are you coming? You're not going to come rushing to my aid, are you? If
you've broken your neck in the forest, I'll have a look for you.
But your marriage is on the rocks, and this is the only weekend you can save it by going to a nice hotel and a nice spa.
It's quite this is quite a unique situation.
And I'm having a bit of a bad day because I had a bad day at work, and I'm thinking I might do myself in.
Oh, that's very bad. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Well, no,
pull yourself together. I'll see you tomorrow.
Have a beer on me.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Have a beer on me. I'll see you next time.
Because your marriage is more important than my life to you. Yeah.
No. If you were going to top yourself, obviously,
if you come to my aid, your marriage is done.
This is like that. What Bush said. We got to torture this man because he's going to blow up an atomic bomb somewhere. These situations don't occur. But it's not a logical argument.
If I run to your aid, my marriage is on the rocks. I'm not running to your aid. I'm sorry. And you're not running to my aid. And saying that you are is lying.
It's being Christian. I'll just say when push comes to shove, I'll see you later.
And another thing that annoys me is, when people say, "Oh,
there's another thing that annoys you."
When your kids are born, it's the best day of your life. It's the happiest day of your life. No, it isn't.
Were you in the country?
Yeah. I were in the room for one of them. I wasn't in the room for the other one. But yeah, we're in the country. But when people say the day your kids are born is the happiest day of your life, that every one of those people that say that is lying. The happiest day of my life.
Champions League final.
No. It was nothing to do with the fact it was my birthday, but it was my 39th birthday. I was cycling across Spain.
Nice.
I didn't speak to anybody that day apart from the person that I at reception at the hotel I stayed in.
Lucky Spanish.
And the people that I bought my lunch off of. Those were the 2 or 3 people I spoke to. Nobody wished me happy birthday. I didn't switch my phone off. I didn't go anywhere near the internet. So I couldn't read any birthday wishes. And then I got into the hotel and I slept. It was the best day of my entire life, right? That day. I were on my own, surrounded by no one I knew. I didn't speak to many people, and I didn't have a conversation with anybody. It was heaven.
So
right?
if that's your Groundhog Day. You
one year later to the day my daughter's born, and I was thinking, this is the happiest day of my life. Last year I was much happier. And anybody that says it's not the happiest day, it's the most frightening day of your life, the day your kids are born.
What are people supposed to say? If that's the common thing to say, actually now, I enjoy that pint with you much more.
I'm just saying they're lying. Those people are lying that say that.
A white lie. A white lie.
A white lie is a lie. It's not the happiest day. And if a woman says that, they're fucking lying. They've pushed a watermelon out of something the size of an almond, right? Happiest day of your life. You've ripped your bag open. You're having to get stitched up from your ass to your fanny, right?
An almond? Did you call a vagina an almond?
Well, what's the size of it?
An almond? Good Lord.
Well, a big almond.
How old is your wife?
Mark Almond. But you know what I mean? It's not the happiest day of your life for the dad or the mother.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, well, there you go. But I'm just saying, anybody that says it, when you hear people say it, just say it, liar. Liar. You're a fucking liar.
All right. Next time I talk to someone and say, oh, yeah, actually, that was the happiest day of my life, having my twins born. You fucking liar.
Yeah, just say that.
Come save my wedding.
And also when people say, oh, yeah, you know, when people offer you, I mean, you haven't got any kids, but you've never offered me advice on how to parent. When childless people that offer you advice on how to parent.
Oh, great.
Love that.
That's excellent.
Yeah, that's what every parent wants, is advice on how to parent from people that haven't got any kids.
Yeah. You should do this. Why? How do you know?
I was once told by a close friend of mine, as soon as your kid can sit up, start reading the classics to him. You know, Shakespeare. So you fucking... This is somebody who hasn't got a kid. Read them Shakespeare, the classics, Macbeth. Go fuck yourself. Another one, you shouldn't let your kids swear. Bollocks. My kids can swear in the house as long as they don't use it nastily. You can't use it outside. You're not going to tell anyway. Saying shit or piss, you know. Because I used to get fucking sent off to bed for stuff like that. Did you?
Oh no, I get a clip. I'd be slapped in the face.
But then you'd hear your parents saying it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna chastise my kids for doing something I do because they've learnt it from me. Do you know, when you're swearing, you've learnt that from your mum and dad, haven't you?
Certainly, yeah.
And they're cracking you for something that you're repeating that they said.
Yeah.
It's fucking wrong. So, no, I won't do that. And yeah, somebody I work with now, you're doing it wrong. Really? What do you...
Why would you even engage in that conversation then?
Huh?
Why would you talk to that person or listen to the advice?
Well, I didn't. She gave me uninvited advice.
Uninvited advice?
It's not uninvited, is it? It's unasked for advice.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it happens sometimes. People suddenly have this idea. I saw it once with this bloke who was a student of mine, and he made music, kind of classical stuff, and he was kind of jazzing it up a bit himself, and he'd spent all his money on this little studio, tiny little crappy little thing, but it was really nice.
Yeah.
And he'd given a little performance. That was really nice. He did his best, you know.
Yeah.
He put his heart into it. It wasn't that great, but we went to see it, and my other student friend, he went up to us and he said, yeah, it wasn't very good. You should do this and this and this. Gave him this whole list of advice, and he couldn't play a flute. The bloke. But I never forgot the bloke who he was just taking it all on board. Oh, really? Yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah, they're both Japanese.
Well, they're not going to say out, are they?
No, you wouldn't see that going south. Saying,
whereas people like us, if somebody tried to give you advice on setting up a business abroad who has never set up a business abroad, you'd say, well, what have you fucking done?
I think that reminds us of somebody.
Yeah. So, well, what have you done? What business have you set up in your own country or?
What are you telling people to do?
Yeah. So any stuff like that I had a conversation about 10 or 12 years ago with this lad who were maybe 15 years younger than me, and he's just saying, we're in England. He said, yeah, but this is the best country in the world.
Yeah, so similar lines.
I said, well, where have you been? So I've been on holiday in Spain. Where else? I've just been to Spain. And I said, just sit down. And I just told him, and he no, this is the best country in the world.
Yeah, it's funny. The same bloke who's living in Spain or in Morocco, wherever, is thinking the exact same thing as that bloke.
Yeah.
He hasn't travelled, but he's thinking, oh wow, Tunisia is the best place in the world.
Yeah.
That's the accent of birth, isn't it? If you're born a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew, that you believe that's your right, you know.
But you're only believing that because you've been told it.
Yeah, but that's it, accent of birth.
And it's not until you take a step back and go, oh, this is bullshit. It's not until you take that step back, and when you do take the step back, it's I don't know, it's like everything comes into focus, doesn't it? Oh yeah, all that is fucking bullshit, what we were told.
I remember once in a pub, this Japanese bloke came up to us and said, and he was uninvited and he was a bit drunk. He said, yeah, Japan is great, isn't it? And my mate said, oh, okay, yeah, it's great, yeah. Yeah, everything's wonderful here, companies, and the women are the best, aren't they? And my mate had enough very quickly. He said, yeah, the women have really tight pussies. And the bloke sort of looked really shocked at me and wandered off. But you got to beat someone at their own game if you're going to talk, grand things up like that.
The extreme honesty in Japan scares people. So if you go to the extreme honesty with a Japanese person, they'll soon leave.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah.
I was invited to this do at the high school, and I said, no, I'm not going. I said, why? Have you got something else? And I said, no. So why come in? I said, don't want to.
It wouldn't go down well, believe me.
I don't want to go.
You're best off not having me there.
I've got much better things to do than spend more time with people I work with.
I've got to stand in a room, I'll prefer that over this do.
But it would just sort of like, oh, okay. They weren't expecting that level of honesty.
Yeah.
But I've done nothing wrong. I'm telling the truth.
No, but you should have said, I would love to. There's nothing on earth I would like to do more.
I wouldn't want that.
No, but you should say, I've got something else to do.
But it's lying.
Again, we come back to the full circle white lie thing. Saving someone the pain of being hurt by the truth is better than saying, no, I don't want to go to your party.
Why?
That's
because if you say that, you're never going to get invited again. Oh,
that was your mood.
Well, they're just going to keep inviting you to parties that you don't want to go to, so you're going to have to make the same excuse again. So if you just nip it in the bud, no, I'm not coming to your party because I've got something else better to do, and don't invite me to future parties. You never bothered again.
At work, they're your co-workers. You need some sort of oil to blend. And
no, you don't.
No. Why would you?
Well, I'm not going. I don't drink. I don't really like speaking to other people for more than half an hour. So why?
Vice versa. I think the people have similar feelings.
Small talk is just annoying. So why bother?
Well, those working dues, they're kind of it's more like a group therapy than a social event. I agree with it completely.
But the people I work with are all about the company.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Well, on the surface, I don't think that's really...
I'm there to go to work and then leave. I'm not I'm doing what I'm paid for and I'm going. That's it. That's what you pay me to do. I'm not jumping about like an idiot with people I don't want to spend time with. I spend enough time with you at work.
Tell them that straight in the face.
Well, yeah.
Enough time with you, principal.
I've been invited nowhere. They said, "Oh, we're off on a Christmas party."
No, I didn't even get an invite.
No,
this
they
time.
didn't. They didn't give me an invite, and the woman that were telling me was saying it to me as if to say, "Oh yeah, we're all going." All right, I don't give a fuck. You're expecting me to get really upset.
Why haven't I not been invited?
Oh, another thing about the parent, obviously getting advice from people who haven't got kids, and the other one is the people that show you pictures of the kids without you asking for them. Do you know when you say, you know, if we were just talking and we'd not met each other, and I just said, "Oh yeah, I'm married, I've got a couple of kids," and I'd show you a picture, right? Somebody did that to me before I were married and I had kids. And I'm like, well, what sort of answer are you supposed to? And I were a bit pissed. And the kid were he had about an 8-year-old daughter. And I just, oh, fucking hell, she's hot. She's gonna get, I said, you're gonna have your work cut out there. You know, you need to make sure she don't get pregnant early on. And he said, what the fuck are you talking about? And I just said to him, why have you shown me a picture of your kids? What response do you want me to give to you? Well, I just want you to say that the nice kids. Well, what if they're not? Am I supposed to lie to you? And he put it away and fucked off.
Yeah, surprisingly. Yeah.
But
probably scared you're going to rape her or something.
It must have happened to you before. Somebody's just shown you a picture of the kids. What possible answer are you supposed to give them?
You're supposed to do this. Oh, lovely. Oh, they grow up so quickly.
But you're lying.
Well, again, good Lord. Manners. Do you know what that word means? The definition.
The truth is the highest form of manners.
God, I wonder what Bradford is like.
What
people just constantly shouting at each other. Don't like your car.
But what are you supposed to say to somebody who shows you a picture of the kids? Now,
there are two ways. One way is going, oh, that's lovely. The other way is going, right, well, can I buy her underwear? Because that person will go away very quickly.
This is what mostly annoys me about people. If we all lived the way I live, we'd be a lot happier.
Christ, we'd be back in the dark ages, mate. We would have evolved out of a cave.
I'm just... Pointless politeness. That's a phrase I came up with when I first moved to Spain. Pointless politeness.
Is that the Roman emperor?
No, people would come up to me and I'd go out and do kayak tours and then I'd bring the kayaks back in and then I'd rent them out in the afternoon. And people would come up to me and say, how much for a renting? I'd say, right, €20 for an hour. If you take it for 3 hours, you can have it for 40. Well, that's a bit expensive. Well, don't bother then. Go find somebody else. And off they'd go. What's the point of being polite? They're trying to get money from me. And then they'd go off and speak to somebody else. He'd say the same and they'd probably charge a bit more. And then they'd come back and take it for 40. And I'd just say, why didn't you just take the kayak? Pointless politeness. What's the point of being polite?
Well, I don't know what to say to this.
Because I'm right. I think it's because I'm right. Is it not?
No. I think people should behave in a civil manner.
I am being civil.
It includes telling people, if you say, "Did you like my food that I took 3 hours to make?"
Not
you
really.
Say. It's way too salty, you bitch. No, you've got to say, yeah, that was very lovely. Thank you very much. That was great.
This is what Brits do that annoy me the most. If you're in a pub or a restaurant and your food's being served to you and it's awful food, and then that waiter comes up, how's the food? Oh, it's fantastic. And
it's great, lovely.
Awful. Oh. Whereas I won't do that anymore.
Well, that's a bit different.
You can't send the food back to get it heated up because you just know the chef's going to have his cock and balls all over it. So you've got to eat it.
Well, that's a bit different. You're talking about a Pacific service. I'm talking about people's home cooking. And they've done the whole day. They went to the shops. They prepared the food for the recipe. They're doing this for you. They did the whole home meal for you. And you say,
awful.
And you say, oh, what's this? This is disgusting. It's just undercooked. Well, too salty. That's too sweet. What have you been doing?
Yeah. Why can't you say that?
You'd say that.
Well, I would only be going to a person's house who I would be able to say that to. I know.
This wouldn't even happen in the first place.
I would only be going to a person's house who I would be able to say that to.
What person would that be?
Well, I'd go to your house. If you cooked me a meal and it was shit.
Well, hence, I would never cook you a meal.
If you cooked me a meal and it was shit, I'd go, Jesus, Duncan, what you been fucking doing?
I might put this to the test one day. I'm going to cook a meal. On purpose, I'm going to make it bad to see what you say.
I'll tell you, it's shite.
We shall put this to the test.
You wouldn't want me to lie to you, would you?
Out of politeness, I would expect you to say, yeah, it was a right nice one. I mean, at worst, you could say, yeah, it was nice. Yeah, cheers.
I've had better. That's about as nice
I've
as
had better. That's the max that we're going to get.
That's as good as you're going to get. I've had better.
I think I go to a Michelin star restaurant. Yeah, I've had better.
I went to a Romanian restaurant in Shin-Nakano in Tokyo once. Me and Shima went years.
Wow, wait a minute. I think I know that restaurant.
It's just on the hill as you go up into Nakano on the Omikaido.
That's right, on the left side.
Shinjuku.
Next to the McDonald's there.
One of the worst meals I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, I remember that. I've never been there. I used to walk past it all the time. Yeah, just before Nakano Sakawa Station.
Yeah.
Near that, there was a Jonathan's next to it.
Police station at the top of the hill. And
police station.
And Bamiyan restaurant.
Yeah, there's a McDonald's next to the police cops.
We went there just as it opened, and Romanian food. I've never had this. Awful.
Well, what it goulash? That's the only thing I can figure. Or Hungarian.
It were this cold cabbage soup, and then something else came. It was fucking horrible.
So it's authentic.
We went to McDonald's on the way home just to take the edge off because it were rancid. So whatever we had at McDonald's would have killed off what were running about in our stomachs. It was the worst meal we've ever had. But
wow, I'm glad I didn't go there.
This was before when I were more polite and I didn't say out. Just ate it and fucked up. Yeah.
You didn't say out?
Didn't say out, no.
Out. What's the word?
Out. Anything.
Oh, okay.
Anything.
Yeah, I'm learning as well, ladies and gentlemen. This language I'm hearing.
Right. Has anything happened this week that you want to?
Well, apart from the invasion in Russia, my hay fever way worse than the invasion in Russia.
You see, it's all about you again, isn't it?
Yeah. No, my voice has left me today, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bit rubbish. And I had a toothache. It's all coming down, falling apart. But yeah, the invasion in Russia. Did you ever see that coming? In Ukraine,
I think everybody saw it coming, apart from the politicians who were supposed to know what's happening.
Well, the Yanks said it for weeks.
Well, when you've got the Russians lining up in the north, the east, and the south in the sea,
and the west, Moldova. Stations.
Yeah, when you've got them all lining up there at the borders with the tanks pointing towards Ukraine, I think all of the world knew that, but all of the Western leaders didn't, and they've got the most intelligence. They've got more intelligence than we have. So why is it a surprise?
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough. This is day 3 now, slowly breaking.
Did you see Putin calling out his defense minister?
Yeah, that was great. Well, that was the day before.
Pathetic, isn't it? It's pathetic.
Speak freely, speak.
Yeah.
Speak plainly.
And
the guy's shitting himself.
He just knows he can't speak freely, doesn't he? He knows and then Putin's there just making a fool of him and laughing at him. Yeah. So I'm going to sit behind this desk. You get up individually, every one of you, about 20 of you individually, kiss me ass, tell me I'm doing right, and then sit back down.
It's Stalin right over, eh?
Yeah.
These people are shitting themselves. No, the best one this week, during all these terrible attacks, which is many people have died, this is that little island near the Crimea. There's a small island,
right,
a couple of square kilometers, with, I think it was 15 Ukrainian soldiers were there, or guards, border patrol. And you'll see this on the BBC. I'll send it to you later. I do recommend anybody looking this up, by the way.
I'll put a link on YouTube.
There's a contact which was recorded. You see the Russian ship comes close, and it's a tiny island with one base on the middle of this island, and you can see it from the sea. And they make contact, and the Russian says, "Well, you've been surrounded. We recommend you to put down your weapons and capitulate and come out, and that'll be it."
Yeah.
And you can hear the other side, and there's a group of them. And there's a bit of a silence, and one of them says, he turns down and he says, "Well, that's it then, isn't it? Shall I go tell him to fuck himself?" And then he turns up the volume loud and says, "Go fuck yourself." Yeah, and that's it. He breaks contact, and they blast the hell out of this island, and they all die. They're all dead.
Right.
Yeah. It's a bizarre story.
Is that the president of Ukraine were calling them people?
Yeah, that's
heroes?
right. Yeah, that's it. He refers to them.
Shall I tell him to go fuck themselves? Yeah.
Yeah,
go fuck yourself.
No, but it's the sentence before that. It says the guy sort of sighs. He just goes, "Well, that's that then."
Yeah.
Like, well, we're gonna die. I think he's gonna resign himself. Well, let's just tell him to go fuck himself, which he does in Russian. But that's it.
Brilliant.
And then they all get blown up to bits. 15.
But when Putin's on telly, and you're watching him saying to these Western countries, "Come on, have a go if you want. I'll unleash hell," and then he's turning to the Ukrainian people and saying, "Lay down your arms and join us because you're getting ruled over by drug addicts and neo-Nazis." And you're thinking, "You silly old cunt." You know, that's something that your granddad would say, wouldn't it?
Well, somebody did ask Putin a couple of days ago, where is your opposition?
Yeah.
Why are they all in prison or dead or missing or disappeared? Well, missing. But where is your opposition in Parliament if you're such a great country? That's a good question.
And I mean, nobody's calling him into check, are they? He's got nobody dare argue with him.
Well, you'd think that behind closed doors, there's people going, "This is nuts. We're going to be in trouble for years, economically speaking." There's protests in Russia itself.
And they're arresting those people for treason, and they're 15 years. And all they're doing is holding paper up saying, "Stop the war in Ukraine," and they're getting dragged off.
Yeah. This woman with a baby on one arm, a sign holding up peace, dragged off. Yeah. I mean, the guy's got the country in such a grip. It's like North Korea. How do you start an opposition? How do you start a protest without being shot to bits?
I think he's fucked himself now.
Yeah, but how? I mean, what's the ending? I can only think of an ending like Gaddafi or Ceausescu, where the people rise up, but they won't. They can't. The first 100,000 people are going to be machine gunned to death. Well, who wants to wait that long before they'll be?
But you see, the Russians do that because it's just meat in the room, isn't it? There's so many of them. They did it when the Germans racked up. They were throwing people at the Germans just to slow the advance.
No, the army did that,
and they would just
wasn't voluntarily.
Yeah, but they were just getting mowed down, and then there'd be another 1,000 that'd get mowed down, and another 1,000. So they did it. The Germans did it for so long that the winter took hold, and then that was the only thing that stopped the Germans. But what the mistake that Putin has made now is attacked in the spring. So this whole thing can get drawn out now because the weather's not going to start being a problem until about October. So if he wants to, that's the thing I thought when he went in last week. Well, why is he doing it in the spring? He's fucked himself because this can be a long protracted thing now because the weather's not going to be an issue.
Well, I don't know. Those two wars, you don't World War II, things have changed highly in terms of.
Yeah, but the weather is a big factor. And
weapons, so is people's information.
But the weather. You think Ukraine is when I was travelling around Eastern Europe in November and December of 2003, right? And I were in
Nam.
I wasn't in Poland. I were up.
I was in Nam.
I think we're up in Latvia or Lithuania, and it were -22.
-22.
-20 in
bloody hell.
Yeah, I think Sigulda is in Latvia or Latvia, and the person I was travelling with, this was in 2003 in the winter, and the Orange Revolution were going on in Ukraine.
Oh yeah.
And I said to her, "Let's fuck off over to Kiev and be part of a revolution. I've never been part of a revolution.
Be shot at."
Oh no, it's cold. Let's not go.
That was the only reason, not the danger or the.
No. And I said, "No, come on, we'll be part of something. Let's go south and get a bit." Fuck's sake! And I missed out on it.
Missed out on the Ukrainian revolution.
But watching it on telly and you see him in.
Bloody hell, that was extreme.
No, this was 2014 when it were extreme, but 2003 it were quite peaceful.
Oh yeah,
the Orange Revolution,
the one in Silk Revolution.
The one in 2014 is when they were just mowing them down on the street. That was the rough one.
Yeah, I remember.
But the one in 2003 were quite peaceful. And no, don't want to be part of that.
Well, opportunity missed, sadly.
Well,
if you could join any revolution in history, I think I'd join the Mexican Revolution.
Why?
Well, the weather, nice weather.
That's the only reason.
No, I mean, I'd see that revolution as sort of people take a little siesta, a little break. Some little tequila, a little food. And let's get back to it. All the sombreros.
I think I'd have liked to have been in IRA.
Why? It's cold.
Yeah, but you've got that. It's good music, isn't it? And Guinness.
We are focusing on the wrong things here, Roland. Not political causes.
I mean, you've got the weather, but you could be one of those freedom fighters that goes off to Libya, meets Gaddafi to buy all the arms. So you've got the sunshine there.
Yeah, a bit too much though. Yeah, that's right. The connection with Gaddafi. Yeah.
I'm Whitey Bulger in Boston. Remember, he sent over boatloads of guns.
Well, that was in a movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, and one of them got caught, and then they tortured that fella in cellar, didn't they?
Yeah.
Bit rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tortured that fella in cellar. Yeah, but that's right. I don't think I'm that much. I don't think I could be asked that much to join a revolution. I'm not. I don't want to die for anything.
A golden tear on a child's cheek.
What
the honour of your wife?
Is there anything that you'd die for?
Saving my arse.
You're going to get raped in prison.
No, I mean the figuratively.
Is there anything you'd spend years and years in jail for, or you'd die for? No, is my answer.
Years and years in jail for, or die for?
I think when you're older, you just say no. That's why.
Well, not only, but maybe my wife. Yeah, saving my wife.
No, but that's not a cause, is it?
Oh, yeah, pure causes? No, maybe nothing. No, you're right. But when you're young, you have cause and you have patriotism, nationalism, and you think, yes, my people and all that nonsense.
This is why you can join the military at 16, because you could not convince somebody in the 30s or 40s to walk around fucking Belfast with a gun and saying, if anybody points a gun at you, shoot them.
Well, that's where all these kids in Iraq, it's always the young, like 18, 19-year-olds who get blasted to bits. Older people are way too... What's the word?
And when you take a step back and you see it's these fucking inbreeders in the government that have sent you there, just to make them money,
you're going to think twice.
Yeah.
But then, so what about World War II?
What about it?
Well, saying no to going to fight Hitler, for example. Well, looking back in hindsight now, what would you say?
Well, if I were in my 20s, or my teens and my 20s, I'd have probably gone.
Yeah.
But if I were in my 30s, I'd go, fuck yourself, send some fucker else. And I'd have stayed at home and banged all the wives.
But you'd go to prison, be conscious objector.
Not if I left the country.
Oh, you leave England?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
America.
But then you have to join the American army, don't you?
I
actually don't know how that works.
I'm a foreigner. I'd go to Canada.
Well, they join as well, don't they? But I have no idea what happens if you do leave.
But in Vietnam, a lot of them went up to Canada, didn't they? Instead of getting drafted.
Yeah, but they weren't in the war. Canada was in World War II.
Yeah. Well, where could you go?
Germany? To avoid it, go to Germany.
You'd go to Switzerland.
Oh, yeah, nice one,
yeah. Or Sweden.
Yeah.
Go there. Sit it out. But they're both cold countries. You'd want to go somewhere warm, wouldn't you? Portugal, did they have an hand in it?
You're right. No, they were neutral. Yeah. Well, they were going both ways.
You go to Portugal.
But,
sitting out in Portugal.
Yeah, worst ways to spend time of the war. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not bothered. I'm not fucking fighting somebody else's war, because I think what the internet's done now is we all know why people are going to war now, and it's like, oh, go fuck yourself.
Well, yeah. If there's a draft now in the UK for any cause, you'd have a pretty tough time getting that through.
Yeah.
You're going to come on, fight for Queen and country.
Fuck you.
What are you doing?
Fuck you. For Boris, who locked us down in his houses while he had a garden parties. Go fuck yourself.
He's
Boris.
still there. He's still there.
And I mean, he's not going to get kicked out now because he's
loving this war.
Yeah, he takes it all away, doesn't it? It takes it all away. I tell you what you were on about before we finished that last episode, and that were Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's all gone away because of this Ukraine thing, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, everything's gone away because of this Ukraine thing. There's no other news.
But the thing that I liked about that were everybody jumping to his defence. Because he's done no wrong, has he?
Well, I mean, that UFC fighter's comment was very cool. The guy he was asked during a UFC press conference, is there any comments from you guys?
Yeah.
And Dana
White.
He sort of walked away, I think by chance. And one of the fighters stood up, black guy, And he gave a very nice comment. He basically said, "Oh, fuck all this noise.
Yeah.
Just noise. Go on doing what you're doing." And I'm not a huge fan of Rogan at all, to be honest. But if he wants to sprout that stuff, yeah, let him.
But he wouldn't let it go, that report, would he? Because he was going on about, are you a doctor? And I said, well, no, I'm not a doctor. I said, well, how can you comment? I said, well, I just do what is best for me. What is best for you and what is best for me is two different things. Like, I'm getting shit at work now because I'm not going to take the booster. I've had one shot, I've had 2 shots. I think I had corona last week. And they say, well, are you going to take the booster? No, you're not taking the booster. Because I work with a Norwegian and they're such rule followers, that whatever is asked of us at school, even if it's wrong, even if they do things that are wrong towards us, it's just a kid. Oh, yeah, it's the Japanese way.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know what it is with Scandinavians. They just love to follow the rules, don't they?
Well, it's a very organised, structured society. And the happiest people in the world, if you believe the stats.
Because they do as they're told.
Well, if that makes you happy.
But then if you're doing as you're told the whole time, you're going to get shit on a lot more.
Well, in what respect?
Well, telling you to get the booster. We've had 2 vaccinations. Right, well, that's done then. You don't need a vaccine. You don't need a vaccination for smallpox, for whooping cough, any shit like that. You don't need the boosters after 3 or 4 months of taking it. Why are we having boosters now? Because it's not being studied. I've had the 2. I'm not having another. Are you having a booster?
Yeah.
Fucking rule followers. Why?
Oh, because the virus has changed.
Have you had the Rona?
Possibly.
I think I've had it twice.
I think I did have it at one point.
I do think I had it last week. Oh yeah, and I'm going to work, and
can they fire you if you're not going to take it?
well, they can try, but I don't think they will.
No, in Japan, that's pretty impossible.
But she were running around when I was coughing and saying she's running around with a thermometer. Take your temperature. So I've taken it when I walked in. Take it again. No. I says I'm going to
the Norwegian lady.
The woman I work with, co-worker.
Oh.
I says I'm going because I'm going to the doctors because I broke my rib. I says I'm going to the doctors to check your temperature when you go in. Well, are you going to check it? Are you going to check it? You're leaving now. Are you going to check it? I said, well, what's the point? I'm leaving. Check your temperature. No, I had to say no because she just could not understand why I wasn't listening to her. Like, you're a fucking co-worker, you know. But this is, and if I'd have been doing as me told, okay, I'll take it. You'd feel like you've been ruled over.
Well, this is the big question, isn't it? How much is the government responsible for the safety of people? If there's things as wrong information, if people are being told wrong stuff, should the government step in to prevent that? People's lives are at stake.
But what Rogan was saying was, if you keep yourself healthy and you eat healthy food and you do regular exercise, you're probably going to be all right. If you're a fat fucker that's shoveling in junk food and you're about 40 or 50 kilos overweight and you smoke, you're fucked. Or you're going to have a worse time of it. Now, all these pearl clutchers, these fat pearl clutchers are saying, how can you say that? Everybody's beautiful. Well, maybe they are, but not everybody's healthy, are they? I've been all right. I was sick for a few days and now I'm fine. You'd be all right. You'd be sick for a few days and now you're fine. Somebody who's our age and is about 300 fucking pound, who smokes 40 cigs a day, is not going to deal with it well.
Well, I don't know what he actually said, to be honest. I don't listen to him.
There were a lot of the N-word being thrown about.
Oh yeah, I saw that. But yeah, they really went through his entire.
They chopped it all together
history
and put it all together in one clip, and then said, "Look what he's done." But they didn't put it in context. He were quoting other people, and then they were saying stuff like, "Well, Snoop Dogg's lyrics. If you're in a car listening to Snoop Dogg on your music system, when it gets to the N-word, do you still sing that word or do you not say it? Of course you fucking sing it, because it's part of the song. Even if you're a white person, you sing it. But if you say that to somebody at CNN, what? You sing it? Yes, and so do you. So stop fucking clutching your pearls.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the argument is against that part. Against Rogan.
But when he was saying he went to a cinema in this rough neighbourhood, and he went in and it were light, and he come out and it were dark and it were rough, and he said it were just like walking out into Planet of the Apes. Now, he didn't say that because there were a load of black people. He said it because it were like a dystopian scene, you know.
Right.
There were just people wandering around. It wasn't because of black people. Like in Planet of the Apes, when he comes back to the planet and it's ruled by apes. It was a dystopian scene. And that's what he meant. But they changed it. So we're trying to say...
Oh, who's they?
The media. The left-wingers. The left-wing media.
Who's that?
CNN, MSNBC.
CNN's not left wing.
Because they're
in America. There is no left wing in America.
They're getting less than 1 million viewers over the entire day. They've not got the viewership. Now Trump's out of office. There's no report on, so they're getting none of the viewership. Whereas he's getting like 10 million downloads for each episode. And they don't like it, and there's nothing that they can do about it now because he's getting so popular. So they've tried to cancel him, but the people that have listened to him for so long know that he ain't like that, and there's no way they can cancel him.
I haven't thought about it that much.
Yeah. Because when you hear CNN reporting on it, you think, well, that's not what I've listened to. That's not... Because I've been listening to that podcast for about 2 or 3 years now, and it's not what I've heard. What you're reporting is not what I've heard. Again, talking to this girl, this person I work with at work, I'm not taking the boost. Oh, have you been listening to Rogan? That's what she said to me. I said, yeah, I've been listening to him for 3 years. Have you listened to any of his podcasts? I won't listen to him. Well, shut the fuck up then. You know?
Yeah, fair enough.
Shut the fuck up.
People don't know what they're talking about.
She tried giving this long explanation about Ukraine, and it was just all wrong. And now that I've grown up a bit, I just kept my mouth shut. I just stood up and walked off. She just...
Why didn't you say the truth?
I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, full of shit.
I can't be bothered. You know? Can't be bothered. It's one of them things.
One of them things.
Yeah. So with the Rona that I had, so last week I know exactly where I caught it as well. I were at this woman's house teaching her kids, and she'd already called me and said, look, there's been an outbreak of corona at my kid's school, do you still want to come? Oh, yeah, bollocks to it. And the kid went, oh, and I got some of it and I thought, ooh. And then Saturday night, felt like shit. Sunday, awful. Monday, terrible. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, I came out of it. But yeah, get this. When I had the Delta in October 2020, it went sore throat, runny nose, cough, aches and pains. Yeah? Omicron, aches and pains, cough, runny nose, sore throat last. So the symptoms flipped. It were the same disease, but the pecking order of the symptoms were opposite way around. So that's the difference between Omicron and Delta. Nor a doctor. So there you go. So if you get whichever way your symptoms come, I'll be able to tell you what strain you've got.
Well, Delta's pretty much non-existent now. It's
Yeah.
Omicron now. Did you see the numbers yesterday?
Well, it's nothing, is it?
I couldn't find the numbers yesterday, but...
All it is this Omicron is just mild flu. It's mild flu. It's nothing to worry about.
Well, I don't want to get it.
But you're going to get it. It's going to burn. It's got to burn. It's with us now. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, but I don't get flu either.
Shutting people in their houses don't work. The vaccines don't work because you can still get it when you've had a vaccine. So just let it burn through the whole population, and then can we get back to not wearing masks?
What if people don't want to get it?
Huh?
Why people don't want to
Because
get
they're
it?
fucking scared because they've been watching TV for the last 2 years.
But isn't that their free choice not to get it, not to want to get it?
I don't want to get it, but I've got it now, and it's not. Let me tell you, it's nothing to be afraid of. If you're fit and healthy.
Well, that's one way of looking at it, of course. Oh, mate, this hay fever is killing me. My eyes.
All about the Duncan. It's not even spring yet.
Oh no, but this week, like 2 days ago, my eyes were so itchy. I had to put in like a liter of that anti-scratch stuff.
So what's the crack?
Horrible.
So you've got hay fever and your teeth are fucked.
Yeah, I've got a real root canal problem, which I'm gonna have to get sorted out next week. But yeah, so I'm off on Tuesday, hopefully, for a week. So I got to get it sorted before then.
So will they definitely get you in on Monday?
Yeah. But I'm taking a lot of drugs with me on my holiday. Yeah.
So you're going to Okinawa
with 2 mates. Yeah, going scuba diving and a bit of cycling.
A lot of drinking.
A lot of drinking. And having a bit of
Are
gay time.
Are you going there with drinkers?
Yeah. But avid active scuba diving and cycling is going to be.
Well, as long as you've got an outlet to sweat all the shit out that you drink, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
There'll be quite a bit of boozing. Yeah.
Right. So I will. Are you going to be here next weekend then?
Now I come back on Sunday.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll knock this on Ed, and then in 2 weeks' time you can give us your Okinawa story.
Right. You're on.
All right.
Okinawa. So, here I go.
Is that it?
Hopefully.
Is there not an Okinawa saying? It's not aloha.
Chimadondon.
Chimadondon. What does that mean?
That's Okinawa language for I'm excited.
Chimadondon.
Chimadondon, yeah.
So when you
learned that in hospital.
When you're lining yourself up with an Okinawa girl, you just Chimadondon.
Yeah. Now I was in hospital while I learned that, so I wasn't lining myself up with anything. Chimadondon.
Right. We just sound like a couple of weird middle-aged
elderly
men. Right. Okay. See you when I see you.
That's it. See you next time. Bye-bye.